Well, I've picked up something, maybe I was influenced by watching the rugby, but a 0% Guinness. I had one at the weekend, and do you know what? Very, very tasty.
Excellent. It's a very
You wouldn't know the difference.
Very good. That's what we like to hear. So that's what we're having. But Gaz is providing today's confession. Thank you, Gaz. Father Simon and his motley crew. Okay, before I make my confession, it's important to say cheers. It's important to say I'm in my 60s, so therefore I should really have known better.
Okay.
My name is Gaz, and back in the day I was quite a stylish chap. Sophisticated clothes, sophisticated taste, which attracted sophisticated women.
Oh, yeah.
If there was a fab and groovy scene, you could guarantee I would be at the centre of it. A dedicated follower of fashion, that was me. My bell-bottoms were the talk of the town.
Oh, yes.
I bet they were. So one bright and sunny day, I was walking out with my latest lady friend, who was called Patricia. She was quite something, I have to say, quite the head-turner. I was very proud to be seen out with her. We were a fabulous couple. It was Saturday, as I recall, and we were probably discussing which swinging hits we'd be listening to at the local record store later. Maybe it'd be the Tremolos, or Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, Mick and Titch, or maybe the Kinks. Maybe we'd get some tickets to go and see them play live at the Pavilion. Anyway, as we were walking along the harbour front, me and Pat, I was eating a scone. Now, this might seem strange to you, as this isn't what you'd normally call street food, but then we didn't know what street food was back in the day. So it was just me and the scone, probably with jam and butter, no cream, because we didn't have cream in the 60s. Not Cream, the band, you understand, we have plenty of them. I quite like Ginger Baker, but Pat wasn't having anything to do with them. She was more of a Cliff fan. I think you're distracted now. Anyway, there we were on the seafront, with me and my scone and Pat without a scone. What she did have, Father Simon, was big hair and plenty of hairspray to hold it in place.
Of course.
She used so much hairspray. I know now that it contains concentrate of a polymer and a plasticizer and luster agent and fragrances, as well as a propellant to spray the stuff out the can. Back then, it just turned her hair rock solid. A Storm Force 10 wind would not shift her barnet. I became aware, as we were walking along the seafront, I became aware of a seagull flapping behind me with its sights on my scone. As it was a little busy, Pauline had stepped in front of me to let more people pass, and this was when I broke off a little piece of the scone and threw it into her big hair. Instantly, two extremely big and very aggressive gulls dive-bombed Pauline, pecking and flapping and pooing, more pecking and more flapping. It was like a scene from The Birds, Father Simon.
Yeah.
Instantly, Pauline went crazy, jumping up and down and screaming and crying as the gulls flew around her. People came out of a nearby shop with a chair so that she could sit down and calm down. It took her a good 20 minutes. What a fuss, I was thinking. I should have remembered at this point that she did have a fear of large birds when we'd been surrounded by pigeons on a previous trip. But anyway, I said nothing and helped console her. I have never let on that it was me that started the fuss in the first place. Do you think I will ever be forgiven for my cruel, and I have to say now that I look back on it with the advantage of my maturity, as a childish prank? Well, the people will decide, but Sister Susie is going to go first.
Well, Gaz, I just think that there's many things wrong with this. First of all, why a scone? Like, how? I don't understand. Did you like cut it in advance and put the butter on, or did you just buy it from a shop and just eat it?
It's unusual to be eating a scone, I think.
Yeah, I just don't really understand. And yeah, you should have had like the proper cream and everything. But anyway, I get distracted by that. But also, you could have thrown it anywhere. You could have like thrown it away from you, and then the birds would have followed it down the seafront, and you could have done that. Why did you have to throw it in her hair? That's really not very nice, and something I can't forgive you, because if I'd have been there, it would have been horrible, absolutely horrible. So no, Gaz, no forgiveness from me.
Presumably he did it because it was quite funny, and he wanted to see
guess.
what. I don't know whether Gaz is together still with Patricia, but anyway, brother from another.
Well, I mean, it was the 60s. There were no rules in the 60s. You could pretty much do what you wanted, and that included eating a scone, despite not having worked out how you're going to be cutting it up when you bought it, and then maybe chucking it about, and maybe some might have ended up in somebody's hair.
I think he was aiming at her.
Was he aiming at the hair?
Yes.
Well, maybe he was, but it was the 60s. There were no rules, and them coming out with a chair. Well, how's that helping? Doesn't help at all, as far as I'm concerned. And also, he's not clear about whether they ended up... let's assume they ended up together. And isn't that a story for us all on this Monday morning, afternoon, evening all? So for a reason, I'm going to forgive.
I think the 7-0 has gone to your head.
7-0.